Greetings, friends. Welcome to another edition of the Gospel Uncompromised. It's Pastor Darrell here. I just wanted to jump on for a couple of minutes to thank everybody for their support. It's kind of ironic. Today, December the 1st, would have been my father's 84th birthday. But we laid him to rest, laid his body to rest on last Friday. And doing pretty good. It's a cycle of life. But again, I just want to thank all of the Gospel Uncompromised supporters for a whole lot of you reached out, and I'm just really appreciative of your phone calls, your text, and whatever you did. You know what you did, and just know that it is greatly appreciated. Also received, we didn't broadcast the last couple of Sundays, but Lord willing, we'll get back to that this Sunday. We'll be live on our Facebook page, The Gospel Uncompromised. We have a Gospel Uncompromised page, and we'll be getting that up on YouTube as well. We'll be probably about 10:30-ish, 10:45 when we go live on Facebook. For those of you that have been missing that, I hope you can understand why we weren't on the last couple of Sundays. But Lord willing, we'll be getting back to normal here this Sunday going forward. Also, if you're in the greater Houston area, you can come out and be in service with us. We have plenty of room to be able to social distance, and you can, if you feel the need to wear your mask, we wear masks on the way in. Obviously, I don't teach with a mask on, but if you feel the need to wear a mask during the service, you let your conscience be your guide. We don't frown upon that. So just want to again, really appreciate all the support, all the support that I've been shown over the last couple of weeks. It's been a trying time, but you can tell when people are praying for you. It's just some strength comes from out of nowhere, and it's really I really appreciate it. But like I said, we laid, and I want to kind of drive a point home here. I'm not gonna be but a couple more minutes, but I said we laid my father's body to rest. We didn't lay him to rest. On Thursday before last, he broke free from that corruptible body. When a person dies, and I think that some of the reason why people go to funerals and they're just so consumed with grief, because they actually think that they're burying their loved one, but you're not burying that person. My dad was not in that casket. His remains were. We went to the graveyard. We buried that body. We didn't bury him. See, when a person dies, their spirit comes out of that body, and it goes back to God in a state of rest. Their spirit, their soul, and at the appointed time, God's gonna send that spirit back to that body, and then resurrect it. to stand before him, to stand before Jesus, to face judgment, and whether you will be rewarded with eternal life, whether you will hear him say, well done, thy good and faithful servant, enter into the joy of the Lord, or whether you will receive eternal damnation. I like to explain it kind of like this: is like shellfish, like clams or oysters or scallops. They come in a shell, but the shell itself is not the fish. You eat what's inside of it, but the shell still remains. Those clam shells, the oyster shells, or the scallop, that shell still remains. That's the shell is what's in that casket. The shell is what we put in the ground. So, and I got this revelation years ago, and it really changed. I go to funerals, and, it's sad. Oh, it's sad and it's hurtful and whatnot, but it's not, this, a morbid experience that most people, experience. That's why people are falling on the casket and passing out and things like that. I believe that they actually think that that's their loved one in that casket, but no, that's not the case. When we die, we actually come out of this body. Like you're looking at my shell right now. I'm inside here. And when I die, I'm going to come out of here. This will remain. And this is what they're going to put in the ground, but they're not going to put me in the ground. So it's just, I wanted to kind of share that, and hopefully some people can get some understanding on that. And another thing I wanted to touch on, and this video is going a whole lot longer than I intended it to go, but that's okay. There's no need to go to a graveyard when we do the committals. After you've done the committal, what are you going to a graveyard for? People go out to a graveyard and they're actually talking to the headstone. Your loved one is not in that grave. Get that. Understand that their spirit, their soul has gone back to God. Is at a state of rest. Is as if they're asleep with God. They're not in the ground. So I have no need to go back. My father's buried right next to my mother. And then I had a nephew who was tragically, killed at a young age. I've only been to that cemetery those 3 times. When we went there to commit my mother's body. Then we went there to commit my nephew's body. And then just last Friday, when I went there to commit my father's body. And I have no need to go back to that cemetery. Perhaps it's just to make sure that the grave sites are being kept properly. But as far as to go visit, no, that's just ridiculous. I want to free people from that. Well, Mother's Day, we'll go out to the graveyard on Father's Day or on their birthday. You're not doing those people any type of service, because the only thing that's there are their bones. They are not there. They're not there. And I just want to hopefully can help you. People often wonder, well, how were you able to minister at your mother's funeral? How were you able to minister at your father's funeral? Because I know they weren't there. In fact, it was a great bit of uh, closure, as it were, to be able to stand and preach the gospel. So, and I'm go ahead and close out. But I just wanted to kind of share those couple of things, and then again, for thank you so much for your support, and I'm going to thank you in advance for your continued support of this ministry. God bless.